Salutations! Stalt here, and it finally happened! Well, still no epic, but after nearly 3 months, DonkeyCrew have launched a girthy patch for Of Kings and Men. Some of the changes I'll mention were covered in my last video from the test build, but since then, the stats and skill system has been overhauled completely with a new max level of 50. As you play, you will be awarded both stat and skill points that can be spent separately to customize your character's survivability, speed, and damage. We'll talk more about the coins in a bit, but you can buy respec points for your stats and skills using them. The armor skill, which is one of the newer additions, allows you to reduce the movement penalties from wearing heavier armors. With the addition of armor actually mattering toward your speed, at the moment, we're seeing a ton of naked dudes wildly swinging two-handed swords, taking advantage of the speed difference. Don't worry, better balance will come with time, but the stat overhaul so far definitely has felt more substantial than the previous version. While we're on the topic of overhauls, gear progression trees were thrown completely out of the window in favor of a shop system reminiscent of CRPG's classic item store. With the new shop were added spears, crossbows, and some new armor pieces. As you play, you will accrue golden coins, around 1 coin per 1,000 of the score previously used for progression. The shop is open from beginning to end. You can buy the most expensive weapon or armor first, if you're patient, but it's going to take a bit of grinding to get a full loadout. I noticed I was getting a few coins per match, and I wasn't even doing that good, so it's not that bad. The old progression system was a point of much contention among the player base, and while I do feel like I'll miss it a little bit, it'll be nice to not have to suffer through weapons you don't want to use to get something interesting. The same coins used to buy gear from the shop will also be used for stat and skill respec points, so, it's kind of a cash dump to favor scarcity of the currency. If you hadn't seen my previous OCOM video, and are wondering why my character looks like he had his neck shoved down between his shoulders like some kind of Goomba, character customization is now live with this patch. There really isn't much to say about this feature. Pictures most definitely will speak louder than any words I can possibly muster. The orcs are at the gates, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You'll likely have noticed by now that there have been many mechanics changes as well. Not only has the sound been improved on, and different voices added, but your personal actions, from what I understand, are slightly different than the sounds of the people around you. And this will help keep you aware of what's going on around your character. A whole bevy of combat mechanics have been changed. Overall, combat has been sped up, with both attack and movement speeds being raised. Movement acceleration has been added to try and counter people attempting to sprint away during combat. And with that change, you can also now sprint while close to enemies, which I know at least one person who will be overjoyed by this, having been his #1 complaint since the alpha tests. Hit detection has also been improved. Jumping is in, and with it the ability to sprint, jump, and swing at the same time like a madman. Shields can now be angled to better tailor your blocks. I found this is useful when you're trying to stop somebody from shooting the guy who's capturing the flag. Also, animations have been cleaned up a bit, and one-handed weapons can now finally parry. So now that we have all of these combat changes to relearn, a training mode with bots has been added to help players both new and old practice their swordplay. Accompanying the new mode, which can be accessed from the main menu, new maps have been added for both duel and conquest modes. While on these maps, if you run into any particularly bothersome players, vote kicks, bans, and mutes have been re-added. Hopefully, they don't crash the server this time. Well, anyway, if you want to make sure your friends get in the same game as you, the party system should now be working as well. I would be remiss to not mention the many bug fixes, but with a patch of this magnitude, more bugs have of course accompanied it. Many have already been fixed server-side, but we'll have to wait for a hotfix before any of those remedies actually take effect. That is one of the largest downsides of these mega patches. and that there's just so much that needs testing, but seeing as how this is an early access title, that's exactly what we're doing, I guess. I would ask that those who have rushed to get angry about the bugs, chill out, because you can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs, and they just dumped a whole dang carton on us all at once. I hope that moving forward we see a more steady stream of smaller patches, as the distance between them makes people feel uneasy. But at least this will serve as a reminder that Chads and the team have not moved to Hawaii and are still working steadily toward their end goal. I don't expect the massive resurgence of players yet that we will see upon the Epic release. But for now, I'm glad we can get back to the field of battle with a reasonable number of combatants and resume the grand melee. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and stick around for more content.